everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's been a while since I've made a full-fledged video. I've been doing shorts. And so this is the first video I've done in a long time. So anyway, what this video is about is an operating system called Pop! OS. What it is a Linux operating system designed by System76. And what it is used for is for gaming purposes, but you could also use it as a daily operating system. I've heard of a few people doing it, and it works pretty nice. So now, for me, as you can see, I have my HP mid-tower desktop computer running. We are going to try to install that operating system on this machine. So here's what you want to do. In this case for me, I already have it powered on, so I'm going to restart it. And when I restart it, I am going to make sure that it boots off the DVD that this operating system is on. Now, there are several different versions of this operating system you can get. Now, there is one if you have NVIDIA video card, graphics card. There is a version for the Raspberry Pi, which I will do in another video. I do have another video before that I need to film. I had a Raspberry Pi 4 for almost a year, and there was a video I was supposed to do a while ago, and I never got to it, so I got to do that first. So, we're going to click Restart, and we are going to see what happens here. So what I got to do yes, unfortunately there are updates, but what I can do here, I'm just going to let it go. It's not going to take that long. So now what's going to happen is it's going to go to 30% and restart just like in any other Windows Update video. So once that happens, the computer will restart and it should boot off the DVD drive. There we go. The computer is now restarting. We're going to enter the setup here just to make sure that everything is supposed to do what it needs to do. So we're going to go to boot. Okay. Just wanted to make sure, so that way if there was a problem, I could fix that problem before things got out of hand. There we go. And this is telling you what it's running and what it's not running. So basically what's going to happen is we're going to go into something, I know I stated this in other Linux videos, what we call a live CD. Basically the DVD in this case is would be your hard drive in this case. And everything is ran off of that. Now, here is an example of what that is. You heard me talk about the Dance Machine, Dance Dance Revolution. Anything from first mix to extreme, you have an install CD in this case. And what happens is when you power on the machine for a split second, there is a split second before it starts reading the CD-ROM. The CD-ROM is the CD itself is the game, and it needs that. It constantly reads that. So that is a Linux. That's basically the machine is Linux based in that case. And this computer does have network. Now, since I'm talking through a microphone and I'm kind of far away from the computer here, the DVD ROM drive is going absolutely crazy. What's happening is this bootloader is detecting the hardware of the machine. So let's say I need something for a certain feature and I don't have it, it's not going to do it. Unfortunately, the network cable is loose from the machine, but I will fix that at a later time. Now, you noticed another operating system does this too. Red Key USB Linux OS will do this same thing, just in a different way, where it says OK, and then you have that. So same type of thing. Now, in Linux, you have 3 different environments. Here's the kicker. In Windows, the environment, which is your desktop, stays the same. Stuff under that, like in your system folder, gets updated and certain features come through. In this, the system folder stayed the same. It's the environment around it that changes. Yes, there are certain things that have failed, but that's because I do not have them in the computer. So yes, this is taking a while to do, but it'll be really cool once it gets loaded. So we should be coming to the end here of this. All right, so what you just saw me do is it was taking a little too long, so I was going to put it in another computer. What I just did was as soon as I took the disk out, it started doing all the stuff. That means that it was working all along. I just did not see it. So that's why it took a little long. So if I do it again, right, I'm going to get all these failed and errors because it's looking for the DVD. So if I put the DVD back in, there we go. So now it's going to continue to do what it needs to do. But what I'm going to do now is I am going to switch over computers here. Right, it's going to flash because it doesn't know what to do. All right, so instead of the HP, I'm going to switch over to my first testing station here, and we're going to see what happens. Whoops. All right, I am back. So unfortunately, I had to switch computers. On the HP, it was taking way too long. As I stated before, these computers are old. They're 10, 11, 12 years old. And unfortunately, as the newer operating systems comes out, these have a harder time running them. It's what a term they call hit or miss. So that's why I'm trying testing station number 1 now, because 90% of the time the Linux distributions will install on that. So without further ado, let's keep going. All right, so now let's see what happens. And if this doesn't work, I have another machine that I could try. Oh, there we go. That's much faster. There we go. Yeah, that's a lot faster on this machine. If you notice down at the bottom it says begin adding live session user, that didn't show up on the HP. Oh yeah, this is much faster. Which means the HP itself did not know how to handle the data that it was reading. It's setting up the event log stuff. There we go. Now, as I stated, this is the live CD, so this is going to be a little bit because I had to change computers. Now it's starting all the services. Now again, I don't have a lot of this hardware that's in the machine that it's looking for. So hopefully what'll happen, there we go. So hopefully what'll happen is it'll check it for one last time and then it'll boot. There we go. So hopefully within about 5 minutes it'll boot. Okay, so finally this booted into the setup. Uh, what had happened is this took a little more time than I realized. Um, One error that I made, I said the HP couldn't handle it. It can. I just didn't let it go far enough into the setup. So anyway, we're still on testing station number 1, and we are going to install Pop! OS. So I'm going to click select. Select again. Select again. And we are going to do a clean install. That's plain and simple. So I'm going to click clean install. Clean install. Only drive in here, but you still have to select it. I'm going to do 1. There we go. Now this is a test machine. I'm not going to have this operating system on here for long, so I'm just going to do a simple password. Now I have the capability to encrypt my data. Now, I thought about not doing it, but I am going to do it for the sake of the video. So I'm going to click encrypt. And there we go. It is partitioning the drive. And you notice it's a lot faster than Windows, huh? And I know I stated this in another video, LTS stands for long-term support. Now that was really cool. It had the lock screen and then it said press any key to unlock. That is really, really cool. So as you see, it is still extracting the files. Alright, so I'm at a point right now where I need to restart the computer. So I'm going to do restart device. So now it ejected the disk, which I would hope it would do. So now when the computer boots, it's going to boot into Pop! OS. There we go. Alright, so now this is encrypted. Now note, some arcade games do this with something called a dongle. And what that is it's a thumb drive that contains the key to log into the account to boot the game. There we go. So now I am in, and when the desktop shows up, it should continue with what it was doing. And now the computer restarts. All right. Okay. So I'm going to leave it there for a little bit. Okay, we are finally at the login screen. So once we get to the desktop, as they call it, I can show you more. I am testing the limits of this machine, as you can see by the way that it's running. Alright, so obviously it is installed. So what I can do here is I could do no dock, which is what this is down at the bottom. Dock extends to the edges, which is the default setting. Dock doesn't extend to the edges. I am just going to keep it this way. There we go, there we go. Workspace button, show applications button, which is this right here. Next. Here's what I can do. I could do super key icons, which are basically shortcuts. Control 1 is the desktop, Control 2 is the camera. I do not have the camera actually, I don't think I have the camera actually operating right now, but that's for another video that when I'll do that. So I'm just going to click next. Remember the iToy for the PlayStation 2? This is sort of just like that. And I could have different themes. I'm going to leave it default theme because I like that. No. Next. So what I can do is because that's where I'm at. I'm going to skip that. Start using Pop! OS. Alright, so now we can use Pop! OS. So, what I could do is go to Workspaces. These are the two. We can go to Applications. These are the applications I can get. You have Pop Shop. You have Terminal. You have Settings. So if you click Settings, it kind of reminds you of a cell phone, doesn't it? These are all the settings. So if I go to Firmware, I don't have any devices that have automatic firmware updates. If I did, they would show up here. Let's go to Applications. These are all the applications. So, I'm not going to go into that too far in this video. This is just how to set Pop! OS up. So here we go. We're going to do this. We are going to look at the updates. And these are all the updates. So you have operating system updates. You have a thing called comic books, which I got to look into. Firefox and Pop Shop. So, and look, it's only 266.4 megabits. If this was Windows, this would probably be about a gig or two. So update all. And if you look right up here, it's updating. Just like when you install Windows, I know I said this before in another Linux video, you want to do updates so that way you are ready to go. And there we go. I didn't even have to restart the system. Okay, so let's go to Pop Shop here. Open. I'll exit out. I'll do that for another video. Alright, so anyway, with that said, that is it for this video. Please comment, like, subscribe, and click that bell for more notifications.